This is the mode. This is the mode today. I put a little lip and eyeliner, just a little bit for you. I'm very tired. I want to sleep and lay down, but no, I'm sitting here and I'm going to channel this message for you because, and this is maybe like a note to other emerging channelers that are being more vocal right now, starting to like experiment with your vocalizing your truth. In the great words of my friend Valentine, the work will show you how. The work shows you how, so just do it. Like most of these, not most, all of these recordings, I don't have scripts. I don't even have a full think through of what is gonna come out. It's just a general feeling and a theme, and I just hit record and then it just comes out. So even if initially, you know, if you feel self-conscious about what you said, I've done many recordings that I haven't posted early on. Nowadays, I just record it and then I just post it immediately. But at the beginning of doing this, I recorded a bunch, you know, and sometimes I'd be like, I don't like that part that I just said, and try to re-record, but then I'm saying something else and losing the point. So there's videos like from earlier this year that I never posted and stuff like that. And then also there's that aspect of like how I would perceive how I look too, you know. My lip, my labrae fell out, by the way, right before the sound medicine ceremony. I think I ate it. The top gold piece, I think I ate gold right before that ceremony. And I was like, of course, I needed to eat gold. And then I noticed when the bottom macaroni part fell on the ground and made a sound, and I'm like, oh my God, it's out. Actually, one of my brilliant clients, I didn't know this when I got that piercing, but in acupuncture, it's a resuscitation or rebirth point. And after learning that, I was like, no wonder, why do I just keep rebirthing myself over and over and over? It's like I was resuscitating myself over and over. And I think something about creating this Emerge from the Earth series is like, my soul is like, this is good, keep it here and cultivate right here, like continue doing this. And I will be posting, if I don't post before this recording, a save the date for the next one, because it will be a series of practices we can do to cultivate and harness our yin power. What I'm coming in to talk about right now, after a day of sessions with my beloved clients, I don't even like saying clients, but just for lack of a different word right now, just the folks that I work with in my therapist capacity. And I quote it because if you work with me, you know it's like a little different from just like what you might think of in therapy. We're definitely channeling together, co-channeling. We're definitely like tapping into our, you know, mystic selves and just like talking from this real spiritual place. But a big theme coming up today is this time of eclipse portal, in between eclipses, is a real reckoning time. Really like reckoning energy. People that maybe you even really trusted, or even family members, people you thought you knew, and they're showing their true colors. Not to say people are just one thing and it's just good and evil or something, but the thing is, people are showing their strengths and weaknesses really pronounced right now. You know, like if you've been steadily working on your spiritual self and rising to the occasion, even if you're like bawling your eyes out with snot and just like you've been like down and out, like just struggling in this past year, you know, especially between like snake and horse year so far, all this training and initiation that you've definitely been undergoing if you are a spiritual practitioner. Somebody who is like a warrior, a spiritual warrior in these times, or a healer, somebody who is like about this journey of shifting the paradigm into like a liberatory matriarchal one. If you are like a strong proponent of that, you've definitely been on an initiatic journey for quite some time, being tested one thing after another. You do have some, strength under your belt now, even though you still might be crying a little bit sometimes right now, like having a hard time and still being met with an onslaught of challenges. There's still this strong core in you now that you've been fortifying to be like, I go like this because I have a kendo, Japanese sword fighting background. And I go like this because that's how we like parry with the sword. The kendo sword is symbolic of a katana sword. So like, if somebody's coming at you, you have to parry like this. And that's what we call it, parrying. But you can do that, but yeah, like the strikes are coming from places that maybe we didn't expect. And it's a bit of a shock factor, or like deep disappointment, in maybe people we have loved and cared about, and maybe still love and care about, but maybe they haven't really been doing the work like you've been doing, and it shows. So, like it's a fine line between cowardice and weakness and malice and evil, like not evil in the way of deeming a person evil forever, but in the sense of like when a person does not do their internal work and weasels or wiggles their way away to deflect it, make it about something else, just make it about your trauma and leave it at that, or make it about other people or the circumstances. You can do that, but you are missing a massive opportunity to show up for the work that you have cut out for yourself before entering this life. And if you don't do that, and you kind of sit in cowardice and, just excuse the weakness of stepping up to the work that's cut out for you, it does go into the side of just not being in integrity. And it does create rot in your life and your relationships. I'm being really like blunt right now, but it's just what my truth is and what I see in my own relations and what people are sharing with me about what they're confronting. And it's, on the side of a person who is on the receiving end of that kind of like cowardice or weakness or just malice. It's deeply disappointing, heartbreaking. There's a lot of grief in the discordance. And it's okay if there's like a sense of hope of like maybe the person will step up. Maybe they will rise to the occasion, but I also don't know if they will. Like the liminal limbo of that is also hard to be with, but there is a breath practice that I think is very helpful to do like a long move through, because it's not just a matter of like waiting for someone to like do their work too, right? Like even if we're doing our work, it's also part of our work to be with a varied range of uncomfortable feelings between like rage and sadness and yearning and love and everything in between at the same time. It's like deeply uncomfortable, and it's not as simple as like, well, I'm just gonna cut this off forever. Sometimes it is like that, but it's not always. Sometimes I think right now what I'm noticing is kind of like one of the people I work with talked about like taking a hawk's perspective of zooming out and observing, like maybe not take the action, or it might there might be some confrontation, but there's also just zooming out and observing and just seeing what gets more revealed. But that can be deeply uncomfortable. So the breath pattern that I would like to introduce, I will share in the next video.